Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Alrighty, let's roll. Okay. Yeah, we'll get to that. So, last time we were creating a mold for a little hood, to build a hood scoop. So basically, I'm going to run through. We got the mold right here. Made a little cradle. This is what came off of the foam. It's pretty rough on the outside, but we don't care about the outside. What we care about is the finish on the inside. Yeah, we got these deep veins. Wasn't too sure about if they were going to create what they call a lock. So basically, to pull a mold out of this, I would take a little bit of resin. I use polyester resin. It's probably the cheapest stuff on the market. It stinks. You want to work with it in a well-ventilated area. You could go epoxies. You could go all different brands of resins. Make the job easier for you, but it's much more expensive. This is the cheapest on the market. So basically, to start, I mix up 2-3 ounces of that with milled fiber. So basically, you can have a look. Looks like, like snow. And that just puts a little bit of fiber in the resin, and basically that's what I filled the veins with. I filled the veins with the milled fiber, and up in here, where it's really tight to get, I put a little bit of milled fiber. And then I let it set. When it was set, after about 25 minutes, I mixed up about 4 more ounces, and basically I laid cloth. This is 6 ounce. You get it from your local hardware store, CTC, whatever. So basically, you put it in here. You draw your pattern. You don't make it fit perfect. You don't bring it so it rolls up here too hard. You want to do that area in pieces. Back here, you can roll it in, no problem. So we resin that out. We saturate it. And then basically on top of this, usually I let the resin just start to set, and I watch for air bubbles. So then we go to chop mat, like this, and this is just for thickening it up, reinforcing it, making it a little stronger. I do it in strips. It's a little easier to work with. These little hairs, if you rip it like so, that makes it a lot easier when you're edging to roll it over the edge. And you have to come both ways. You got to come this way, and you got to come this way. Makes it a little easier. So, after about 2 hours of working with resin and dabbing, I missed something. Prior to doing all of that, I actually spray in 3 or 4 coats of this stuff. It's parting film. And you spray it in light mist coats. Let it dry 10 to 15 minutes between coats, and this is basically, this is your release. The old school of waxing, that's out the door. Basically, I put it in just with a cheapy touch-up gun, and then we do the resining. And we are going to talk about the quarter scale car a wee bit, but before we get there, I'll show you the part. So I did do a layup. I wanted to do it on film, or at least start it on film, but here at Shark Customs we like to do our video raw, and call it magic. It's not really magic this time. So basically, this was very hard to pop out because I did get a little bit of locking on the veins. So this is our part, and you can see where it locked. It locked to the primer a bit. Probably didn't get enough parting material in there. And by trying to force it out, I did fracture just a little bit of the edge, but I can put some resin on there. But once it's painted, I think it's gonna look bitchin'. I'm gonna show you what it looks like in the hood. It's probably just gonna get painted flat black. and then basically it'll get fastened up in here like this. Silicone pot rivets. The face will be cut out to let air in to the engine. But yeah, so there you have it. And we're going to be doing lots more composite work here, just because I like doing composite work. The little quarter scale, we're going to shoot over to it. This will have a whole composite body, many piece body. Notice I got the rear shocks in, panhard bars hooked up. We got the suspension going on. I'll put the box on. I want you to see something with the box on. I got a couple sticks in here to hold it in its proper position. There we go. It's sitting at its height. Everything. This will have a tunnel cover. Doesn't really matter. So now I'll take a fender, which I carved out. Just everybody's been wanting to see what the fender actually looks like sitting on the wheel. So I carved one out. So basically, it sits about there. Hangs over the wheel. Hangs over the rear wheel really nice. I think it looks cool. I can't get, probably this week I'll be getting to carving the mold. Now you can kind of see it looks very similar to the way the real fender hangs over the real wheel on the 52 Chevy. So in my quest for doing the box and the fender, I started taking some measurements down because things just didn't quite line up right. And I don't know if you noticed, but I did step up the rear frame section. I stepped it up the thickness of the frame. You can see here where I had to add a little triangular piece, but this piece here used to sit down underneath there. I needed to raise it for the suspension. And at the front, I discovered that my measurement across the wheels was too wide for the scale body. So I cut it, pinched it, brought it in narrower. Now that's not even the biggest issue. The biggest issue I discovered was the fact that things didn't look right. So I took some measurements off of the real truck. The real truck was 110-inch wheelbase. When you break that down in quarters, it comes to 27.5. My bad. So when I measure from the axle to the front wheels, well, I get 30.5. That's a big oops on my part. So basically, these wheels need to be where this red line is. That's 27.5. So probably in the next video it will be fixed. I'll probably cut this, slide everything back, get my measurements right, and we'll move on from there. But I really want to get going on the cab, and I really want to get going on the composite build for this because it's just been in frame mode for too long. Not really that long. It's only been a week or so. So now we're going to switch directions, and we're going to look at what was in the background behind me, because this is a new addition that we just picked up today. It is a 1952 3/4 ton. Now we have 3. The reason I picked this up, the deal was good. The cab is gorgeous. There's a little bit of rust repair, but by far out of the 3 we have now, I would say by far this is probably the nicest cab. So basically the chopped cab outside we are going to replace with this cab. And then we are going to try, it has has a hydraulic tilt bed set up in the back. And get this, so it has a 3-speed transmission off the V6. The motor has some things missing. We couldn't fire it up, but we cut the PTO shaft off of the transmission. We put a little pulley on here and a belt, and basically I just set up my angle grinder with a belt, and we just wanted to see if it was function, so if it was something we could you know, sell on Marketplace. And lo and behold, it actually works very good. I'm not going to try it because the grinder is very loud. Maybe in another video, if it's still kicking around. Right now it's posted on Marketplace. So we'll go up to the front, because you know, we spent a few hours when we first got it back to the house. Ooh, Cricky, put some oil on that, will ya? So we spent a few hours mucking about. Like I said, motors don't, it has no spark plugs, the coil's missing, some of the spark plug wires are missing. I'm pretty positive that it will turn over, but basically, so we're going to keep the cab. It's going to go on the 53 Chevy sitting outside covered in snow right now. That will be coming back in, but you know, a few hours, a lot of rusty bolts. We got the grill off, because we're keeping that. It's in decent shape. Oh, look at all we got some debris falling out. We're going to set this over here. You can have a little look at it maybe if you want. I don't think we're keeping the fenders. As you can see, the fenders got, somebody blasted it. That can be fixed pretty easy. A lot of work to taking these old trucks apart. You know, it's just time, really. I think maybe. Muscle. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that rusty old bucket. Rusty old bucket. Right on. We're getting there. We'll get the other fender off. But yeah, we're not keeping much from this. We're gonna try and set, maybe we might put the chop cab on here, and the fenders we don't want, and just sell it as one whole unit. You know, we just want to try and move it as fast as we can. But our time is almost up for this video. I hope you come back, watch some more. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, comment, whether you like it, whether you don't like it, doesn't matter. And that's it for now. Later.